live stream has commenced. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the solution.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good. How are you? What's going on?
Doing well, thank you. I hope everyone at home is doing well. Numbers keep going up every episode, right? So we're pretty happy about that. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. As you know, we like to cover a lot of different things on this show, not just crypto. We like to cover a bit of news, some markets, and, talk about some somewhat controversial stuff every now and then. I think that's what we're going to do tonight, right, Vin?
Yeah, we're going to get there tonight. Please follow, please like, please subscribe, please repost and send it to everyone you know so we can get some followers going here. We need to get a bit of a congregation going is what we need right now. That's what we really need. We need a follow group. We need everyone to listen to what we're saying here because what we're saying is going to affect your life.
Amen to that. So just to let everyone know, obviously most of you do seem to watch on X, but I can't get the live comments to come up. So if you do want to drop a comment, you can stay on X, but maybe go over to the YouTube stream and drop a comment in and we can answer your question. Or if you want to make a statement, that's cool because interactions, it makes it a bit more fun for us to vibe off you guys. All right, so let's start off with the topic we want to talk tonight. And this is, we decided to talk about it this week because there's going to be a huge protest in the UK, in London, and that's coming up this coming Saturday on the 13th, and it's going to be Tommy Robinson and a bunch of people who are kind of fed up with what's going on in the UK with the mass migration. Like I was saying to Vin the other day, you're just seeing news stories every day of sexual abuse, violent crime, churches being attacked. I just saw an old church in Canada being burnt down today.
Today? In your town?
Yeah. No, in Canada. I just saw it in Canada today. But
yeah, I just saw pulling a cross off of a church yesterday. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, things are getting crazy. And there's a reason for all this. It's not just kind of random. As we said in a previous episode, you get this a lot. You had this in the Roman Empire. As governments get larger and larger, their middle classes start to become a threat to them. You become surplus to requirement, and I think we're going to touch on some of this. We got some stuff to look into later about what's his name, the guy who's predicting 98% job losses in the next few years. So we're going to be talking about that as well. That's kind of part of all this of perhaps why they're importing so many third world immigrants into Europe, coming to a town near you in US if you don't vote in a decent candidate after Trump. But yeah, this is kind of a worldwide problem, but it's really kind of getting crazy in the UK. So if you want to riff for a little bit, if you don't mind me just kind of see if I can pull up some videos.
Yeah, sure. One of the things that we're seeing is blatant disrespect across the board for humanity, blatant disrespect for independent religion. And what's very upsetting is the government. And I'm going to say this real fast here. These opinions that I have are mine, okay? Whether they're Sammy's or not, I don't know. No one knows. He lives in England. We're just basically stating facts, okay? This is what's going on. If they're going to try to suppress me, come and get me, okay? It ain't going to happen. But what we're seeing here on a factual basis is the outright suppression and the subversion and the attack on Christianity. And as you all know, I have found Jesus in the last couple years, but I've made it public now. And I've seen so many things happen in my life just in the last couple months that has been spectacular. And I'm telling you, what I see right now is a crusade happening. And it's very scary if you look into it and see how the government is allowing it to happen in England. It's obvious. It's not my opinion. This is just a fact. right? You have the police, 6 police arresting an old veteran that's in a wheelchair because he held up a sign. Like, it's unacceptable.
Let me show that, actually. I've got that one here. Let's go through these videos and you can comment on them. So,
sure.
So first of all, I'm going to show you some of just the crazy unrest we've had this week. I don't think I'll be able to get the volume on this, but we can just you'll get the idea. So here we are. Can you hear that?
A little bit, yeah. If you can turn it up, that'd be great.
I don't know if I can. Let's just mute it anyway and talk over it. But here you see in London, this is right near the House of Parliament, and you've got absolutely crazy scenes here of some of the kind of newer people to this country just going crazy, throwing stuff at the police. And
complete disrespect, right? Absolute disrespect. And these police have no power to do anything.
None of them would be arrested. If this is English people protesting, first of all, the police will be wearing full riot gear. They'll have batons. They'll be attacking them. They'll be basically. So yeah, when the English protest in a non-violent way, they're confronted with batons, police and military gear, mass arrests. And when the new immigrants do this, they're allowed free fall to throw stuff at the police, attack them, and nothing's done. That's just one example, right? I'll show you another one. I'll show you another. Let's close that one. So we got another one here. This one's even worse. This was this week in Stoke, and you've got some British people there protesting against one of the illegal migrant hotels, and you've got a huge mob of Islamists, and you can see here they're brandishing axes, knives, weapons. They're shouting Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, so why is it that the government is allowing this to occur, but yet they're not allowing the English citizens to defend themselves on any capacity at all? What's the answer? What's the answer?
Well, my answer to this is, so first of all, we know that this is political suicide for the current government, right? They know that Reform, which is kind of the party against this, they're now out polling everyone. So they're in the lead. So they know that this is political suicide. But the reason they're doing it is because they know they're being voted out next election anyway, right? And their puppet masters are telling them to do this. They're trying to flood Europe with immigration. They're trying to remove and outpopulate the native population through voting and outpopulation. And they're trying to stoke people up to get them arrested with these authoritarian laws. So it's a displacement strategy. And that's the only way
we saw that in America. We've seen that from the previous administration, what they did with allowing the immigrants to just completely just come into America without any documents, completely illegal. They literally legalized illegal immigration, and they did it publicly. They figured, they talk about it, they say they're doing it, and because they control the media, they control the psychological narrative. So what's happening in England is you have a situation where you have the top 10 biggest cities in the country, the mayors are Muslim. You have now top tier administrators in those cities as well, right? The top 3 to 5 administrators of each of those cities are also Muslim. And you've got a situation where they're
also recently, from yesterday, our new Home Secretary is now Muslim as well.
Right. So it's a silent coup is what they're doing. Okay. And all you do is you just look at their actions and see that the administrators of the country are switching to being Muslim, or they are Muslim, and they're allowing all of this to happen. So over time, the process is trying to literally subjugate, literally just completely switch, right? To make now this population. I mean, I just saw yesterday an absolutely amazing set of facts. Okay, so I'm going to spew this out real quick. All right. In the UK right now, these are facts. These are facts, absolute facts. 78% of Muslim women refugees don't work. 63% of Muslim men refugees don't work. 8 out of every 10 Muslims on free government housing. Most UK schools now requiring lunches to be halal. Schools are so overrun with Muslim that in Daisy Field, the primary school in Blackburn, 95% of the students are Muslim, and they've adopted a strict halal accreditation. The mayor of London, Sheffield, Blackburn, Oxford, Luton, Oldham are all Muslim, and there's more. The Homeland Secretary, like you said, Muslim, and he's in charge of counterterrorism and policing and the immigration policy.
Yeah. So our new minister, right? So basically, the last one, she got ousted because she's the head of the Home Office, right? So she's in charge of taxes, in charge of immigration,
right,
stuff like that. And she was basically not paying tax on buying her fourth or third home.
Of course
right?
not. Of course not.
And she's very much like some of these corrupt politicians, where she only earns £90,000 a year, which is around what 115,000 US. And somehow she's acquired this huge amount of wealth, and she's not even paying her taxes. So she was kicked out the door, and they brought in this Islamic woman who has openly declared that she doesn't believe in borders, and won't be defending the borders.
I mean, they've integrated seditionists into the country. And listen to the last few facts, right? There's not a single...
I'd just like to say, just to cover myself here legally, because I'm not really allowed free speech to talk about this. I'm not inciting hatred. I'm not trying to get people upset. I actually against violence. I'm against inciting violence. I don't believe violence is the answer to anything. I'm very anti-war. Just want to make that clear.
The issue, that's very, very clear, right? This is a peaceful conversation, and we're literally inciting in the name of peace. That's all we're talking about here. But we're also stating very disturbing facts. Okay, there's 72 schools in England where there's not a single British child. 454 schools. The fact is that there's white British children that make up less than 2% of the student body.
And they're actually scoring the lowest as well on exams. So
I mean, there's other facts that we can talk about, but this is just factual stuff here, folks. It's an issue, and I've said for many years, like what we're seeing in England, watch it come to America. Right?
So this is Birmingham. This is Birmingham a couple of days ago. Should we roll this clip? This is yesterday in Birmingham.
Yeah, two of them attacking each other.
So we got so now you've got this is multiple ethnic groups of illegal immigrants broke out into a frenzy. So these are Afghans and others fighting each other. They're
and we're going to continue to see. We're going to see a lot of that because we see that in their home countries. They have tribal disputes. Okay, tribal disputes happen everywhere in the Middle East. It's not a civilized society, and you will see it now. The same kind of disputes are in England, and that's what you're seeing right now. So this is very unfortunate. I mean, it's what's really difficult is you've got the police that are not protecting the citizens, and that's where you run into civil unrest. That's where you're going to see the, let's call it, the underground, the citizen mafia. They're going to take measures into their own hands one day. And that's where you're going to see a real situation where it's going to be a trifecta civil war, where you got the police that can't do anything. They're not going to protect anybody. They're going to go after the citizens. And you're seeing the citizen mafia is going to protect, like the IRA, like that whole situation happened. See it happening again. It's an isometric projection. It's all happening again.
Yeah, and what you're seeing here is you see this every day as a cross being pulled down. I just saw another clip where another immigrant broke into a church during their service, pushed the priest out of the way. He was on the pulpit smoking and insulting Jesus. And then we just saw another thing today in Canada of that church, which is one of their oldest churches being burnt down. And obviously, you've coupled this with mass killings across the Middle East as well of Christians, which never gets any coverage. We've got the situation in South Africa where Christians and white people are getting massacred. The police are not doing anything about it, and this stuff just doesn't get covered. It doesn't get covered. We had
because why? Because those that are in charge, that are facilitating this, own the media.
Mm-hmm. So this is an example of what's going on right now. That's why we've got to really be careful what I say here. And as I say, I'm not inciting any sort of racial hatred. VinLuck's opinions are not my own. So this guy, let's remember political prisoner Wayne. And I knew this guy. I think he used to come to some of the COVID lockdown protests. I believe it's him. They said, so he was basically imprisoned for 3 years. So he's still in prison right now. And basically, there was a riot going on in Sunderland after the decapitation of those 3 and 6-year-old girls and those young girls at the Taylor Swift dance class. Riots all over the UK. And all he said when someone was burning a car in protest, he said, "Sunderland, go on, lads." And he was arrested and he's still in prison now, just for saying that.
Because he said, "Go on, lads." Like
Sunderland, go on,
they
lads.
said he was inciting violence, right?
Yes. So what tends to happen in these cases?
What about the people who beheaded the little girls?
Well, he's obviously in life in prison. He is, but what the government refused to release any information about him, so everyone went crazy. It turned out he was a British-born Muslim, but everyone went crazy because they didn't know what the hell was going on, and the government were refusing to acknowledge this. So I think part of the plan here is they're trying to whip people up. They want to basically use these mass riots as an excuse to enforce more draconian laws, more limiting of speech, and more arrests. So they're trying to make an example of people that reach out. And what they do is, so all these cases, they've got a huge backlog of cases. There's about 3 years backlog. So some of these people in these protests are already now going to court, and they were told to basically plead guilty, and they'll be given lesser sentences. And then what actually happened? They were there. They pleaded guilty, and then they were given more time. So the advice now is to basically don't believe them. They're lying to you. Don't plead guilty. Take it to court. Pretty much everyone that's gone to court has not gone to prison. So what you're saying here is all people that have pleaded guilty.
It's complete coercion from the government. Yeah. It's what it is. And they're professional liars. They're allowed to lie. They set it in the system where they facilitate and they train the police officers how to lie and the prosecutors how to lie to get what they want.
Yeah. And let's have a look at some. We're nearly finished with this subject, guys, but we got this. So this is another thing. So UK police go. So what they're doing is there's a thing called raise the flag in the UK. So a lot of British patriots. So basically, just because they're getting arrested for their words, they're getting arrested for protesting. So they're thinking, well, surely we can hang up our British flag or our English flag, or we can drape it over our shoulders and just stand around. And now they're even coming after children. These 11-year-old children wearing flags. The police officer here is asking the 11-year-old boy for his details, and the young girl there. They're harassing them, which is illegal, by the way. You're not allowed to forcefully ask someone's name unless they've committed a crime. You have to basically say to them, right, we believe you've. I'm basically holding you here because I believe you've committed this crime, and therefore I require your name. Yeah. So this is illegal. What this police? Well, it's not illegal. They're actually allowed to do it. But he's not allowed to do this to a child that's committed no crime.
Right.
That's the mother they're protecting.
Because they want the parents. They want the parents' name. So they're going to start holding parents accountable for underage, for kids that are just simply, upset. And think about it. You've got underage kids that are upset.
Here's a wheelchair-bound veteran also being arrested for saying something that certain people found offensive, apparently. Holding a sign, I believe. There we are. This was yesterday. So they're literally picking him up out of his wheelchair. Look at all his medals there. Fought in the Second World War. Arresting him.
With his medals on.
Yeah, and there was also another church lady, older than him, 90 years old, was also arrested soon after this. I didn't manage to get the video. So this is just crazy.
Yeah, this is really important that everyone stands strong and holds strong to their moral values and not succumb to the coercion. There are lawyers that'll come to your aid. It's tremendously important right now. Yeah, and just for a bit of hope here, someone's hung the St. George cross on the Angel of the North. So you're seeing these flags go up everywhere. So at least you're starting to see people. And I'm gonna do this. I invoke Jesus Christ to protect you, Fat Sammy, and protect this podcast to make sure that the whole Father, the Father of everybody, of everything, the Creator of the universe, has in fact the protection of who we are and what we're doing here. We do this in the name of peace. We do this in the name of love, and we do this in the name of humanity for the Father Jesus Christ, for Him only. And Fat Sammy, you have protection of the truth and justice that is coming on you now. And this holy book and this Holy Spirit will oversee that for you, and He will bring the archangels, and they will be over your shoulders at all times. In God's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Vin. Thank you, Crypto Jake, for joining us. Smash that like and subscribe. Yeah, please. Well, if you're following on X, please follow. Please follow VinLuck. He had a huge account. He was doing so many PulseChain streams. He was doing them like every week, and he had some of the biggest PulseChain streams. Sorry, not streams, X Spaces going on.
And here's what's going on with that. You ready?
Yeah.
So I'm now verified on my alt account. I waited for a little while. I asked them. I proved my both accounts. I have the same videos on both accounts. I said, you have my ID. I sent them my ID. I unofficially sent them my ID, and I was unofficially verifying myself to them through email, right? Yeah. And it continually said no, and I waited. Now I'm officially verified. Okay, it means I re-verified the same ID that I ID'd on my old account, right? Which someone has hacked and using to identity theft me, and to use my identity to scam people. Okay, lawsuit's coming. Elon Musk, a lawsuit is coming. I already have attorneys. Lawsuit is coming. And a big one is coming.
Big following there, didn't you? Was it 7,000 people or so?
It was 7,000 or 8,000, something like that. Yeah. But now they're using my identity, and X is allowing they are facilitating, because I'm now verified on both accounts, and I've been sending them my ID. So
have you got a lawyer for this?
I'm sorry?
You got a lawyer that you're using for this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's coming.
Update us on that.
Now it's coming.
Update us on that. And if anyone else has any stories of their X account being hacked, let us know, because maybe VinLuck could give you some advice on that. It's terrible. We were saying, someone in the Pulse Bitcoin chat was saying the other day, one of the admins, he was saying there needs to be some sort of verification system where you can't just get stolen. For Telegram as well.
The issue is, I verified on 2 accounts now. So I got the same ID on this current account that I did on the one that I'm telling him has been hacked. How do I have that? How do I have the same videos on both accounts? How do I say to them, hey, in the email, I'm uploading a video right now that I have on this day on my original account, and I'm putting it on the new account right now. I'm proving my identity in multiple ways. I'm telling you, X support at supportx.com, I'm coming for you. And if you want to hack me and you want to cancel my account, let's go. My lawyer is going to have a game day. Let's go for millions of dollars. Go ahead and settle, because what I'm about to do is real.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Okay, keep us updated on that, Ben.
Let's talk market. Unfortunately, we got a lot of crazy stuff out there. In God's name, may there be peace. Let's figure out a little market talk and see what we can do. Talk a little economics. Unfortunately, I got a bit of a scary forecast, everybody. But listen, it doesn't mean you can't make money in my forecast and what I'm about to say, right? So, Sammy, take it away, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so let's start off with some market data. Then Vin's going to tell you his bearish case of what he sees the next bear market to look like and when he estimates that might be. So, but before we get to that, let's talk about what we like to do. Is we do a show once a week. So we like to cover what's happened the last week. So Mr. Crypto mentions to everyone that we've got some big macro data in next week. Wednesday, we've got the PPI data. Do you want to explain in layman's terms what the PPI data is for us?
The price producer index. So you're looking at basically like manufacturers and producers and stuff and where prices are for them. Okay.
And then on Thursday, we've got the CPI and ECB rate decision. Do you want to explain what that is for everyone?
Core, the consumer price index, right? Where the chicken and eggs and
that values the price of goods, right?
Yeah. Right.
And the real terms against inflation. Yeah.
And look, there's what we're really going to be looking for too is the jobs numbers, and you're going to look for the revisions of the jobs numbers. That's the key that we're looking for right now.
Well, we had bad figures on that. We had bad figures on that yesterday, I believe, on the unemployment. The unemployment was actually a lot higher than we thought. No,
you're right, but watch when the revisions come out from last time.
We also got some stuff coming up.
I don't think those came out yet.
Monday, we've got China's balance of trade, export data, import data from China. That's happening tomorrow. We've got balance of trade from Germany. Tuesday, we got Westpac consumer confidence change. US non-farm payrolls annual revision. Some inflation stuff.
When is that?
Sorry, which one?
When's the revision? Tuesday. Watch on Tuesday that revision. That revision is going to be where they say, hey, listen, we lied to you before, and here's the real numbers, right? It's going to be a bad number, man.
So explain to me what non-farm payrolls annual revision is exactly.
It's the everything but farms, everything but farming, right? Actual job payrolls.
Right.
So I'm telling you, just watch the revisions. It's going to be worse than they said before. And you're going to see this narrative that's going to happen where now they're going to say, okay, we might be in trouble economically, and we got to start cutting rates, right?
So even though this is going to be bearish for the market, this is going to help increase the possibility of rates coming next week.
Right.
Week after.
Which then, because the market is forward looking, what will happen is the market will say, okay, great. We got cheaper money. It'll eventually roll into the economy, right? So we're going to get probably a correction into it. And then boom, we're going to get some kind of bull market, which may trigger alt season, which may trigger, a big event. There may be a bigger cut than we think. If that's the case, or if they cut again, if it's one and done, it's one thing. We have to see how it plays out. But they're ultimately going to say, okay, the Fed's going to say, okay, the economy's in trouble. We're going to slash rates. Market says, okay, great, cheaper money. Let's go, right? Then we all get positive. We all get really positive incentivized, right? And the market just takes off eventually. Yeah, because we got cheaper money and it goes into the economy.
And the people that are they've got like $10 million in a high interest account, they're more likely to then
put into the market because they're not getting that interest anymore. However, what happens is the things that we're seeing now is forward is looking backwards. But what will ultimately happen is next year we're going to get a lot of look. If the economy takes in a ton of money and we get a ton of this economic stimulus money that comes,
there'll be a lot of money coming in from the tariffs.
From the tariffs and from the investment, right? Here's the thing, okay?
Yeah.
It's like that God candle that you can't do again, right? So at the same time, we have to see if that plays out and how it plays out. But what we're going to wind up seeing, this is going to get into what we're going to talk about later, is what AI is going to do to the economy. So as we then get this bull market, because interest rates have come down, eventually that gets exhausted. And because of the debt levels, I don't know if we're going to be able to see the same kind of stimulus supply play out in the economy like we've seen in the past.
On that note, I've got something special for you. You'll like this. It's a new update that's been released by TradingView, and it's really sweet. Can I find it? Here we are. Look at this. So this shows you the government debt per GDP. So let's take which country do you want first? USA. 124.3%.
Highest ever. Highest in history. Go to China.
UK, 95.9. China's going to be 88.3. But here's the real winner. Look at Russia. Russia paid off a lot of their GDP before they Ukraine. 16.4.
16.
Yeah, they reduced it drastically, but because they knew they didn't have international banker support when they went into this war, so they made sure to pay that off before.
Go down to do me a favor. Go down to Southeast Asia and find Vietnam.
Vietnam would be here, 32.9%.
32. That's pretty good for them. That's excellent.
That's very good. And you've got an update for us on Vietnam. So obviously you spend a lot of time there. Obviously, everyone knows them during the Vietnam War when they were very almost a proxy of China. You're saying they've got a new administration there right now, and they're actually pushing back. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
So a couple months ago, I don't think we talked about this yet. A couple months ago, the president called the president of Cambodia and told them that if there's a little faction.
Sorry, can you riff for a minute? I just need to use the bathroom.
Thanks. Yeah. So there's a little faction of apartment buildings in a little area by the border of Cambodia and Vietnam. And China is basically embedding themselves in Cambodia. So the president of Vietnam called the president of Cambodia and said, you have 24 hours to basically stop it's like almost like an insurrection that China's created inside Cambodia, where they kidnapped a lot of people, like 3,500 Vietnamese, and they brought them over and they make them and they're holding them hostage. And they're literally making them catfish people online. They're making them do online fraud, right? And they say, we've got your family in Vietnam. We know where they are. They literally kidnap them there. President of Vietnam literally calls up the president of Cambodia and says, you have 24 hours to stop this. Before the 24-hour mark, the president of Vietnam crosses the border with the military police and they go and they rescue every single one of those Vietnamese being held hostage. And the country is holding this guy like they've never seen a president have the balls to do something like that. This guy's spectacular. So this is the kind of president that he is now. It's wonderful what he's doing. He's taken on a more nationalistic approach, which is great. And he's joining the small little towns like where my wife is from with the next town over and joining them. So he's making each one bigger. And what's funny is now you have small towns that are becoming these beach towns, which normally weren't beach towns. And their numbers are growing because they've consolidated the little mini towns into become these bigger towns. So the country is growing. They also have been fighting China in South China Sea from basically these reefs and these islands that China wound up building for military coercion purposes.
Yeah, so pretty much we can start trying to see. Are these islands are these islands around where my mouse is here?
Yeah, that's in contention right now. There's a lot going on where a lot of all the countries from Brunei, Philippines, everybody, they're all saying a part of it is theirs, right? But Vietnam came in and they're building a bigger ocean base and bigger island bases than China even built. They vamped up their military. They put huge money into their navy. They've got this amazing navy now. And a couple of months ago, it was just recently like the 50th anniversary of the Vietnamese War, and they had this massive parade. You guys just go look it up. They had a huge military parade event. So they're showing tremendous force, and they just opened up their visa. They're going to have golden visa, 10-year visa, 5-year specialty tech visas now, because they really didn't have any kind of visa. It was a 3-month tourist visa. You can extend it one time. You got to go in and you can come back in overnight. And that's what I used to do. Even though I got a marriage visa, I got the 5-year. I got to leave every 6 months. When I go back, I'll get the 3-year. I don't have to leave. And they can also now they've also opened up where if you're married to a Vietnamese citizen, you can actually buy land. Right. So we have huge farms there. We got tremendous durian farms, and we're converting our pepper into durian. We've got some land in a bigger town that we're building a restaurant, hotel on right now. And it's wild what's going on there. There's huge development. Prices of everything is just going up. And if you look at the Vietnam dong, the Vietnamese dong, right, VND, it's at like 26.5, like 26,000. It used to be 25. And this is a very, very stable currency. It hasn't moved for a very long time.
How's their population growth?
The demographics are young, right? The only people that use condoms are people that are at bars, right?
Just to kind of bring it back to the macro here. And thanks for filling in for me there a second. I think what we're talking about is obviously we talk about economics on this podcast, but a lot of this feeds into geopolitics. And so we're talking about the problems going on in Europe. Obviously, we've covered that in the first segment. It's basically Europe is just declining in terms of GDP. It's declining in terms of native birth rate. It's declining in terms of industrial output. It's losing some of its weapons and advanced tech capabilities to other parts of the world. It's just generally in decline. And then obviously, the Ukraine war is a big one. We want to see that end, but obviously the European leaders are trying to stifle those negotiations every time that happens. And the other reason we're talking about East Asia here is obviously the elephant in the room is this Taiwan situation. So obviously, part of the reason I'm asking about Vietnam, and I spoke to Vin the other day, is where do these countries we don't often talk about fit in? Obviously, if this island here of Taiwan, which was always part of China for very long, if it is invaded, does it drag in Japan? Does it drag in Australia? Does it drag in India? Does it drag in the US? And talking about Navy buildups, you've got a huge submarine force, a nuclear submarine force being built by India. And they're now expanding out into these territories. So there's potential for a huge conflict in the next 10 years in this region. And obviously it's very concerning. So that's kind of why we're kind of mentioning this area. So hopefully...
Let me address the Taiwan situation. So, whatever China does, okay, it really if they do something, it's going to be time to where they know they can't get a real response from America. So I happen to be in the camp that if they do go and they go mainland Taiwan, it's going to happen very quick, and it's going to be it's going to be an immediate coup over the weekend.
Yeah, they'll probably do very similar to what they tried to do in lots of other invasions, where they'll try and get a lot of the inside people to fold. They'll say, look, we're overwhelming force. You're going to go to court. You're going to get imprisoned. Would you rather not just join us? And
that's a big reason why America right now, and why America has put so much money into chips in America, right? U.S. government just bought 10% of Intel. That says it all, right? We have huge money coming in.
And that's why the tariffs, the chips are going on China, right? Right. Because they know they can't rely on that as a source anymore.
If you're in the camp of, oh, they're all like this, it's at the top, and it's all, two wings of the same bird, and it's all show, and it's all theatrics, and it's all planned. Well, the plan would be wait until the next World War III actually goes live, because this is just the preamble. And when that's happening, oh yeah, by the way, we're taking Taiwan, and we can't do anything. America can't do anything about it. The base in Japan is going to be limited in what they can do, because if we take that if we start that conflict, it's not going to stop. And China's military and their navy, let me tell you something. They're outbuilding America ships by 100 to 1.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. China is outbuilding naval ships 100 to 1. And here's another fun fact. Every single ship that is built in China, whether it's commercial, whether it's a luxury cruise liner, or whether it's military, is actually built with the specs and the manufacturer's specs and the ability to maintain integrity as a military ship.
And on that point,
every single ship built in China, a cargo freight ship, is actually built as a military ship, and they're outbuilding America 100 to 1.
I read a book about 10 years ago, and it was called The Remilitarization of China. It's a very data-heavy book, and it kind of focused on China's remilitarization over the last 20, 30 years. And, obviously one advantage they have, as we all know, being under a dictatorship, they do have long-term economic development. They do have these long-term projects. And when they first started this building of their navy, they basically bought a couple of aircraft carriers that were basically outdated. They were from like 1981 from Russia, and they had them sitting in a dry dock, and they literally were starting from fresh. China's never had a navy, not for 2,000 years. So they're basically carbon copying these Russian things. And obviously, the Chinese have been sending lots of weapons to them, so now they're giving them more and more tech. So they're basically building Russian tech level now. Right. And one of the stupid mistakes of the Biden administration and even the Obama administration was that the U.S. Navy would do these open days, and they would invite Chinese delegates. They'd invite their potential enemies around the world, and they would walk around these ships, and then the military would give them tours of all the technology they had. Right. So it's just like they were just giving away state secrets. It's just unbelievable. And now I think they're Gen 5. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but their Gen 5 Air Force is actually technically, arguably better than the current U.S. aircraft fighters. I know obviously they're developing their own new gen now, but
look, that's upsetting to me. I was in the F-18 Hornet Squadron, man. I mean, American Navy pilots are the best pilots in the world. No one can land on an aircraft carrier like a naval pilot can. And it's really, really troubling to feel, to hear, to see, and read that China's catching up the way that they are. Yeah, it really is.
So quickly, let's have a quick look at the interest rates, because that's what we're going to talk about as well. Interest rates currently in US are at 4.5%. Comparatively in the UK, they lowered them, I think 0.2 or 2.25 basis points. So they're at 4%. Russia is actually quite high because obviously they're at war right now, so they're at 18%. Right. Ukraine being at 15.5%.
Yeah, Japan, but think about what Russia's saving rate is right now.
Look at Japan, 0.5.
Yeah, they've been there for a long time. Think about what Russia's saving rate is right now. Think about how people say now the bank rolls are getting huge. Their bank accounts are getting huge. Why invest anything? We got such high interest rates. I get 18% with no risk.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you think about it, okay, that's not a bad deal. Now you want to talk about crypto and other things, multiple X's, that's different. But if you just look at historical, equities markets and stuff, and you're getting an 18% number with no risk, hey now, I mean, you're getting a huge influx of money market money coming into the banking system there. Now there's going to be a moment when that changes and you're going to see their stock market just take off. So it would be a time to actually do some counter trend investing and, buy into the Russian market, right? You got to understand currency and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could have shorted the Russian ruble when the war started, and then longed it after all the Western FUD kind of finished, and then you would have done well.
Now look, let's talk about that for a second, because I think people are kind of getting complacent in what's been going on with the Ukraine situation.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It's been a proxy war for America. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay, this isn't Ukraine versus Russia. Not in the slightest bit. All right. This has been a proxy situation. And I knew it in February of 22 when it happened. And I said, look at what happened in World War II. The conflict started years before the real World War II started. So I'm making a call right now. This is going to be a very unfortunate call. And it's going to play into the forecast that I'm looking at and what I see geopolitically and economically. We're going to see a big market boom, okay? I'm going to see interest rates come down. You're going to see the market take off. We're going to have altcoin season, okay? The winter is coming. No fool's going to start a war in the wintertime. We're getting to the point now where I think war is coming in March. I think when the winter's over, I think you're going to see. And
what do you mean by you say war is coming? Because obviously we discussed this privately. We're working on this AI model, and it's giving us surprisingly high numbers on prediction of escalation of war in Europe. And not just that. To back that up, I've been following some other commenters, and we're seeing new roads being built with signs for tanks in Poland. We're seeing tens of millions by the British government investing in mobile morgues. We're seeing the French government invest a huge
hospital letter. Did you hear about the hospital letter?
No, tell me about that.
Hospitals were just told to expect next spring.
Yes, that was in France.
In France, yes. Thousands, tens of thousands of injured.
And now also
what be in the hospital for anywhere from 30 to 180 days.
And do you know my prediction on this is how it will play out? What I imagine would happen, what it's looking like is Poland along this stretch, because we've got a lot of British forces up in Estonia, a lot of international UN forces up in Latvia and Lithuania, and Polish forces in this area. So what you probably see is a third front open up against Belarus, which is one of at the moment they've got their troops along the northern border of Ukraine.
Right.
So what you'll probably see is if there is escalation by these crazy people, it will be a push into Belarus, and they'll probably
you'll see the fracture of the borders is what's going to happen. Yeah, you'll see the conflict start on the borders, right? Because that's where they're all based. So there's going to be these right now.
There's some false flag events,
the military zones.
There'll be some false flag events, some sort
absolutely. That's what they want.
They'll line up the Belarusian leader and say he's committing some sort of atrocities. They might say they bombed Vilnius in Lithuania or something, and then they will start.
We'll never know who really did it. We'll never know who really did it. There could be like I've been saying for years. There could be a small tactical nuke that wasn't launched. It was a truck bomb. It was a suitcase bomb.
And what they'll probably do is they'll probably wait till summer next. They'll probably wait for the frost to clear in Ukraine next spring, and then what will happen is Russia will have to move a load of extra forces into Belarus, and then there'll be another spring offensive in Ukraine. So I don't see these psychopaths trying to finish this. Yeah, it's going to get terrible.
Look, I'll tell you something. Trump's been trying to make peace, right? He had 7 months. He had 7 peace deals. That's a number. 7 might be the last number. It might stop now. Mm-hmm. He said many times he's only going to do this for so long, right? I got a feeling that if there's no peace deal, just watch what happens. If there's no peace deal between now and March, after all of his efforts, we're going to have a real issue next year. And this is not going to be one of these issues where, what's on the screen? Where you see,
sorry. Some adverts. Sorry, I apologize about that.
Yeah, there's not going to be this issue where typically when you have war, you know, the market just goes up because of the industrialization of the complex and how everything, like, that'll happen in China. But now the war has been so soft hot for a while, and it's been a cyber war and an economic war, that it's not going to play out the same way, because World War III, it's going to be devastating, because it's going to happen at the same time. Here we go, where AGI comes into play.
AGI.
When AGI comes into play next year.
What was AGI stand for?
The autonomous general, right? Like this is where artificial general intelligence comes in, where it's completely autonomous, not super intelligence yet, but
almost like Terminator 2 vibes, right?
Well, that's super intelligence, right? That's where we're going. But when AGI comes, it's coming in 26.
Right.
Okay. So you're going to get, and I said this again, I'm pounding the table again, the end of this year, you're going to get a massive, massive AI crypto boom, AI stock market boom, right? It's coming. And let me just.
Yes, obviously a lot of that is Ethereum based. So obviously we talk a lot on this podcast. We believe that XRP will become the payment system for the banks, and we believe that Ethereum will be the base layer for all of kind of like the ledger for AI services, for real world assets, for corporations. So yeah, it's definitely going that way. I think there was another announcement. Fidelity just launched a tokenized version of the stock market.
Yeah.
today.
So look, I've done a lot of deep dive into this AI thing, right? And I've built a bunch of platforms that I said, oh, this could work, that could work. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm focusing on what I know can survive, what I believe will survive, right? And, you know, I created a bunch of AI agents and a couple of SaaS platforms and stuff. And I said to myself, wait a minute, I can charge $300, $200, $1,000, whatever I can charge for these services. But why wouldn't the company just take their own one employee that's a really good, you know, dev, and make their own platform for their own company internally, right? So AI is gonna even remove AI jobs. Okay, so AI is going to be devastating for the job market. And when I mean devastating, we're making a possible call here to where in the course of the next couple of years, and I'm telling you, this is in the next 2 or 3 years, we're not going to see a possible 10%. We're not going to see a possible 20%. Roman Yampolsky, who is the godfather of AI safety and security, says 99% potential unemployment. Everything is going to go.
And he's calling it pretty. I know he's just done a Joe Rogan podcast. I think I'm going to watch his podcast after this. But fill me in. Didn't he predict it a lot sooner than people are expecting as well?
He did. He predicted it a long time ago. And he's been very consistent in his predictions. And he's come out on a bunch of podcasts right now.
Mm-hmm. And for people aren't familiar with him, what is his background exactly?
He's a professor, PhD. He's a teacher at, I believe it's in Lexington, Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And he's been talking about AI security for a long time, over 15 years. Mm-hmm. And then we have.
So just to let everyone know, this is bullish for your bags in the short term. 100% is bullish for your bags.
Absolutely. I mean,
but it's dangerous for a lot of your jobs in the long run. That's kind of where we're at.
You know, the ultimate scare is, you know, our plumber's going to go away, right? The ultimate scare is there going to be a autonomous Optimus robot plumber? That's the question.
I don't see. See, this is I see a lot of stuff like, let's say, financial, like JP Morgan. I can see them sacking or firing, I think you guys call it, 90% of their workforce. That's been called up by Tom Lee.
accountants,
driving,
lawyers,
stuff like that.
professional services are going away. Think about that for just a second. Professional 100%. Services are no longer going to be a job.
Well, even lawyers, for example, they could go because they'll realize, we've got this huge backlog. We discussed this earlier. We've got this huge backlog of cases. We can't clear it. They cleared a load of it during COVID. They said they wiped a lot of it off. We had the same thing with HMRC, which is our government, the tax office.
The last jobs to stand, Sammy, the last jobs to stand are going to be laborers.
Yeah. And what they can do is they're going to say, listen, we need to clear the court system. We need to clear the tax system. So we're going to automate it. We can have a set of rules. There can be an AI that can kind of fight the case. They know the rules. They'll test it in a few cases. They'll say, what a success this is. We can clear all these cases. We can cut costs. It's so much more efficient. And as these job losses go, universal basic income's going to come in, and then you're in the danger zone, right? Because your bags would have gone up. So I would say the smartest thing you can do is ride this AI wave, ride up the charts in this bull run, because I think it's going to be a very good bull run, especially if you're in ETH, if you're in PulseChain, if you're in XRP. I think you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, but there's a whole lot. Listen, there's a lot of great AI projects that are out there on Ethereum, on everything. I think that there are some really, really wicked Agent Zero. Oh my God, there are some platforms that you can get into right now and run the wave on it. It's going to be spectacular.
RTY, what's the one we were looking at the other day that you recommended? It's a real one. That's RSR. RSR. That's not a bad one, is it?
Well, RSR basically. So RSR is an ETF, is a decentralized ETF system where you can basically create your own crypto ETF, right? Yeah. I gotta run for 30 seconds. Hold on.
Okay, no worries. But yeah, while you're gone, I'm quick run over the charts. Let's see what's gone on the last week. The Russell 2000, which is all the small, I think it's the largest 2000 tech companies and small cap companies in US. Looks like it's trying to push for an all-time high. If this happens, we tend to see Bitcoin and tech stocks follow, or they're kind of tuned in with each other, right? So a 3.46 move. Obviously, we've got a lot of stuff coming out next week, but if we can make this push and this retest and break this, we could potentially get some all-time highs. But what might happen is we might wait for that interest rate decision. So I do predict, unfortunately, another boring week coming in the next week. What could have happened is we could have, which this is the other option which could have happened, but it doesn't seem to have played out, is 97% of people are predicting an interest rate cut before September 17th. But so what could have happened is the market could have run the market up and then sold the news on that event.
Sure.
But it looks like that's not happening. It looks like the market is defensive, waiting for that announcement, right, Vince?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually. So I've been running some price predictions on my thing on what I'm building, because for those of you who've been listening, I'm building a prediction model, a prediction engine, and it's getting really intense. It's a lot of work, but it's getting freaking intense. And for the 1 week, for 1 to 2 weeks, the market's going nowhere, right? So if we go nowhere for 1 to 2 weeks, there's a chance that when that happens, the market just sells off hard, says we're in trouble, and it's going to price that in. And then they say, okay, because listen, it's going to take 6 months for the interest rates to kind of roll into the economy, right? So, okay, first the narrative is, the psychology is, oh my God, we're in trouble.
I would tell on that point, right, from historical data, when you get an interest rate cut, it can take anywhere from
6 to 9 months.
1 day to 2 months on average before that hits the market.
So when I say 6 to 9 months, it depends on what you're talking about. Market as a whole, yeah.
No, so I mean when risk on assets actually go up.
Right. So when you got that drop in interest rates, you got the Fed window that the banks can go to, but how does it get rolled out into the economy is the real question. So I think we're going to see this dive happen. And I'm a fool for just keep buying, right? Like I'm thinking it's gonna just kind of dive. I'm saying it's gonna die, but I keep buying. So I'm all in all the time, right?
Well, let's get some other.
We'll see it play out and just springboard off of it.
So in the meantime, macro in the last week we've had. So obviously we do a weekly show, so it was quite a bad run here because we had a market cap of stablecoins increasing in the last 3 weeks. Looks like we got an indecision candle now, which is good, obviously, for crypto. We're still in this downward pattern for US dollar dominance. And obviously, as you guys know, you want this chart to go down and Bitcoin to go up at the same time. Let's have a quick look at the US dollar index. Obviously, we want a weak dollar. We want dollars to be cheap. We want interest rates to be low. So
this is a really important chart. This is probably the most important chart that we can find that we're going to look at.
So this is the weekly. This is the weekly, just so you know.
Weekly, right? Okay.
So look at this. Look at this negative candle. This is beautiful for the week here.
Yeah, that can just roll over and just start going down. So here's the thing. Can you switch to the monthly real fast?
Yep. There's the monthly.
Okay. Roll out more, all the way out. Okay.
There we are.
So we're going to see this altcoin season. This altcoin season is going to get down to that orange, that low bottom that we see there, right there, right? Okay. So let's say altcoin season is going to drop somewhere around there, and that's when we're going to see altcoin season happen. Okay. But from there, here's our issue. This is where I'm going to get into my future thoughts on where the market's going to go. We're going to see this move down in the dollar. And it's simply because interest rates are coming down, and you're going to see this bull market happen, yada, yada, yada. Next year, when we see AI kick in, we see jobs going down, what you have to look at is what have corporations been doing for the last couple of years, right? That's going to break. Trends break. Don't think they don't. So if you look at companies in America, you're going to see massive store closing, massive debt, bankruptcies across the board, and it's just started. We're going to see an influx of bankruptcies next year and the year after. Okay. When that happens, what do they need? They need dollars. When bankruptcies occur, they occur in dollars. There's a demand for dollars. You're going to see a wild demand for the US dollar. So scroll out, go to the whole thing.
Are you talking about bear market here? Are you saying when?
I'm saying after we drop and we get that 90 level, okay, in the time frame that happens, we're looking at about next year, early next year, when it's going to probably hit that level. Okay? Bull market. We're going to have an alt season. So you're going to see during that alt season happening, you're going to see the dollar drop to that level, that somewhere in that range, right? It's going to come to that support. Okay. However, right, exactly. So what we're going to see from there is everything changes. The economy now is going to change. AI is now taking jobs. You got big corporations now that are exponentially filing for bankruptcy. You're going to see a massive recession come. Massive recession come. It's going to be the worst recession we've seen in a really, really, really long time. And you're going to see the US dollar go to 122. The Dixie is going to go to 122. It's going to go back up to that high. What do you think is going to happen to the market when that happens? Let me tell you something. I said this last week, and I'll say it again. There has been such a connection and an embedded connection now into blockchain, and the equities markets now is integrating into the volatility of crypto through blockchain. You're going to see a blockchain pullback bear market, and it's going to affect the equities markets in ways they've never seen before. You're not going to see a 30% recession in the equities markets anymore. The equities markets are going to basically reflect a blockchain crypto recession. And you're going to see the recession come in the equities markets and the stock market. It's going to look like it's all crypto. Okay.
Do you mind turning a light on in your rooms? You've gone a bit dark on us.
Sorry, it's I don't know what that is.
Have you got light? You got a light switch in there?
I do.
Oh, there you go. That's much better. We can see it now.
So see that when you see that, okay, you're going to see the equities markets partake and become what looks like the crypto market. All right. And people are not used to that. Hold on.
Well, I tell you what, the last time they saw that, if we go back to the COVID crash in, here we are. The last time we saw that
was
a black swan event.
But that was a shock and awe moment, right?
Yeah,
that was a wicked correction for a short amount of time.
Look at
that's not what we're talking about.
That's crazy on the stock market.
So that's not what we're talking about here. What I'm talking about is the combination of corporate bankruptcies in America because of the massive debt that they've had. Okay. And you see, just look into how many companies retail companies, everything, they're closing stores left and right. So what's happening? What's going to happen now? And it's integrating, equities markets is integrating blockchain. Okay. And you're going to see that trend break what you're doing right now. That trend's going to break. And when it breaks, just like when PDI made that triple top and went all the way up, and then it broke that trend and became all the way back down to the bottom, pull up Bitcoin, go to the monthly chart.
Let's go BTX or Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin should be fine. This
Whichever.
is the monthly on Bitcoin.
Okay, run that trend. Go to the monthly on it. We're going to go. Listen to this very closely. Sammy, we're going to go to the bottom of last bull cycle.
So, so you're predicting the next. So first of all, let's talk about timing.
The bear market's
you're predicting bullish Q4 for this year, a bullish Q1 for next year, and you're predicting possibly a crash in Q2, Q3 next year. Is that your time scale?
So I don't know how long it's going to take to get there because those down moves happen faster than the up moves. But if you go to that middle of 22 into 22 bottom when Bitcoin hit 15,000.
Oh yes, so here, yes. So that market retrace was a retrace of 78%, and that happened in a time period of around 6 months. Oh no.
Okay. Now, if Bitcoin tops at 180,000, let's do an 85%.
That was about nine months, I believe. Yeah.
Right. But that first big candle was like really close.
About almost a year. That was almost a year. Yeah, that was almost a year.
Okay. So now 85%, we're just going to do 80%, whatever, 85% off of, let's say Bitcoin tops at 180 grand. Okay.
So you're saying 180. Let's say we go up to
85%.
180.
Because this bear market, it might even be 90%. This bear market is going to be exponentially worse than the last one.
So 180 is about there.
Hit 180, go down 80%, 85%. Where are we?
85% from around 180 is going to be. Sorry, down 85%, yeah?
Right.
Takes us around 25K. Which gives us which is resistance here. So
it's sending us back down there. So I'm telling you, if what I see happens, we're going to have AI taking jobs away exponential at an exponential number. If we see the corporate bankruptcies happen, we're going to see the dollar's got to go up. Okay, the dollar's got to go up. It has no choice. Okay, and what's that going to do for the markets? It's going down. So if Bitcoin breaks this trend and we see not just your typical trading bear market, which was the last one, let me see a 90% retracement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't subscribe to that belief personally. I believe that too much big money.
I'm telling you what I see. I've been in economics and I've been doing this. I was a Series 7 in 1996.
Yeah, you're more qualified than me.
90% retracement in Bitcoin, which in this scenario is not going to be so out of the realm.
Right.
Where are we? Where's a 90%? 15, 16,000, right? And
well, 90%. Let's see what 90% drop's going to be. 17.3, yeah.
Right. So that's the bottom of the last down move. And that last bear market, wait a minute. It was just your typical cycle bear market. It wasn't anything really fundamental that was super crazy, right? So it was a retracement from the COVID correction. So if we now have bad fundamental situation going on, we have bankruptcies and we have a stagflation situation because we got jobs being lost left and right because of AI. And we got all of the professional services going away. Wait a minute. Everything is changing. It's not the same.
But what I'm saying, what my theory on this is I agree with you that you're going to get all those job losses. It's going to be horrendous for the retail, for the average person. But by that point, I believe that Wall Street and banks would have taken over Ethereum, taken over these assets. And I don't believe they're going to crash because retail's not going to be in the game. They might crash it hard, yes, to get retail out once and for all. And then retail won't be able to afford to buy back in.
Let me show you something. Let me show you something.
Yeah.
So look, can you pull up equities markets there. What do you want? Trading view?
Equities. Which equities?
Pull up Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, I can pull that up. I think I've got some.
Go to the monthly chart. Go back 20 years. Go back to the late 90s. All right. I was shorting Amazon. First I was buying it, but I was shorting Amazon when it was at $500, losing $5 a share. Okay. Now, I was an options trader. I made and lost millions. Okay. I'm nuts like that. Call it what you want. But I wound up shorting the top. Okay. And buying puts at the top. Where did it go? How far down did it come after the internet bubble bursted?
So here we are. Here's the internet.
That top to the next bottom.
95% retrace, yeah, 95%.
What's that retracement?
95%.
95% on the internet bubble on Amazon.com.
Yeah, that was the 2000 crash. Yeah,
correct.
95%. 95%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't think it ain't gonna happen again. Not for a second. It's the biggest.
Yeah, that was a very young asset. That was
Here's
a very
another
young
input,
asset.
Sammy. We are in the biggest. We are in a bigger bubble than that was. How about that? What
Yeah,
if I
true.
told you the valuations are 10 times what that was?
Mm.
The valuations right now are 10 times what that is. So we got issues. And whether you like it or not, this is reality.
And let's say they start to tokenize everything onto the blockchain. Is that going to add an extra layer of kind of dumpability when this thing does crash?
Yes, but here's the thing. So take this into when Amazon went to 10, which is what that is right there. It went from 500 or whatever it was to 10. It's all split adjusted now. So
you're saying
like 11. I remember I was there.
Yeah, went from $1.34 in June of 06
and it's done all the splits.
$5, retraced 67%, and then just kept going. Then just kept going up to $179 really without any proper retrace. You had some 30% pullbacks here. 30% pullback, 20% pullback, 30%.
What we are in right now is the first one. And the issue right now is the valuations are astronomically higher than that first internet bubble. Okay. And when we see this bottom out, top out, you're going to see it's going to be a perfect storm. It's going to be a perfect storm that's going to literally happen all within that same few months to a year. And you're going to see the same kind of retracement happen.
So you can see something like this, then it go up, hit the top of this channel, another 264% move potentially, or maybe.
Wait, let me answer your question. You said, well, what about the real world assets and actually integrating into blockchain? Okay, that's great. Listen, number one, most meme coins are going away. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're completely gone.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't have utility, you don't have a reason, a cause, a purpose, you're going away. Okay. It's not just a community, because at the end of the day, you can only stay in something that's a loser for so long. Opportunity cost. All right. During this time when Amazon crashed and the whole internet bubble crashed, the survivors have now 100x since then. And what did they do? They integrated. During that bear market, they integrated, right? They built their platform. Amazon went from at that time just selling books to now the biggest retail seller in the world. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to see the same thing happen. You're going to see the blockchain integration of real world assets, tokenization of real world assets, and everyone's talking about it now.
Looks like we lost Vin. He's going to start going bad, but yeah, let's continue the show. Wait for him to jump back in. Let's finish off the charts. We've got a lot to show you. Let's go to ETH. Let's quickly do some ETH while we're waiting for him to come back in. So ETH, a lot of people are waiting on ETH, right? A lot of people in PulseChain who are watching now, waiting on ETH. PulseChain is not really going to move without ETH. Richard Hart's obviously got these bits going out. Here we are. Richard Hart's, he's done this advert by now. So he's sending all these bullish signals at the moment. Here he is. He's back in. We're just covering for you while you're gone, but we're moving on to ETH because we're running long on time here. So ETH, I was saying it's been a bit boring for ETH right now. We're having a retrace.
So
not been very deep.
Let me finish what I was saying. So you're going to see the integration. It's going to happen, but it's going to happen in the next bear market when things get really, really bad, right? You're going to see things get really, really bad. And that's when you're going to see the integration of the real world coming into blockchain. But what's happened before that is you're getting that real suppressive bear market that we're going to call a possible depression coming. Because when AI takes everyone's jobs, and when all corporate goes down, and when they're filing bankruptcy left and right, and you're seeing the dollar just go to 122, the Dixie goes to 120s, you're gonna have this massive implosion. And then you've got the integration of the stock market into the crypto market. And what is gonna happen there? Guess what? Amazon 95% down, and you're gonna see Bitcoin go back down to 15, 16,000. Guess what? Solana's going away. Solana's the meme coin network. That's going away. I got news for you. It's going to $1. Okay? It's going away. I don't know where PulseChain is going to go. I have no idea. It's got a lot of memes on it. It's a copy. It's cheaper. It's the first round. We just don't know. I have no idea. Ethereum probably coming down to 1,000. Right?
But I think
it's going to come down. It's going to survive and still going to be the center hub of RWA. But you're in and out.
No, it's your internet. It's not great.
But it's gonna be, it'll still be the main source of and financial platform, right? For blockchain that everyone's gonna connect to. But I'm telling you, I believe what I'm saying. And if what I'm saying happens, you're gonna see Bitcoin at 15, 16,000. You're gonna see Ethereum at 1,000, if not 500. And you're going to see Solana at $1, if not 50 cents. And the meme coin.
So the important thing for people to take home here
what is,
is don't round trip. Whatever you do, for God's sakes, don't round trip this next one. Take your profits, right?
Is have a plan. Have an exit plan. When we go into altcoin season, have a DCA exit plan out. If you're a shorter, I'm a bear shorter. I've made a lot of money on the short side in my life. Unfortunately, I've spent a lot of it. Don't be afraid to take short positions at certain times. Don't be afraid to get into a little bit of leverage on a small percentage of what you've got to see if your timing might be right on a couple of things. There are 3x ETFs that you can get that are not perpetuals that you will not get liquidated out of. Okay, that you can put. You got a $100,000 account and you put $1,000 in to see if you can catch a bottom, then another 1,000, then another 1,000. All of a sudden, you're DCAing yourself into the top by buying a short ETF, right? Which is now has got 4 or 5 zeros in it, and it's about to go to $1 over the next year. So there's a lot that we're going to do.
Yeah, you can buy the triple Q stocks and all that sort of stuff, can't you?
We're going to talk about as this actually plays out.
You can buy the triple Qs, but basically you're buying a stock, which is a short position. It's quite easy to do. But
that's the NASDAQ 100, and you can short it, or you can buy puts on it.
We'll be live.
Right? And you can do it in crypto. You can go on your KuCoin account.
We can start to make calls when we start to think this run's had its juice. We'll be live and we'll call it when we think. But
you see, here's the thing: the important thing is that we're discussing this now.
Yes. The
important thing is that we're talking about this now, because people are going to call us crazy now. But then wait a minute, these guys are saying something that makes sense. Maybe he's not so crazy, right? Because what they're talking about now is actually happening. Because let me tell you something: this is my life. I've been saying things since I'm 13 years old that happen years later. People don't understand why I say it, but then they say, oh my God, you were right. So welcome to Vin's world, right? This is the way it's been. My own wife says this all the time. How did you know that? Yeah, I can't even tell you. So we're entering into the situation where you better have a plan. Please have a plan. If you want to ask any questions, I can tell you how I'm doing or what I'm doing, or in your situation, what I would do. DM me, no problem. I'm not clicking on any links or doing any nonsense. I get so much fraud in X and everywhere else. It's ridiculous. But we're going to keep doing these forecasts, because I'm telling you, we're gonna wind up like building a following, bro. That's gonna say, guys, you called it 6 months ago. You called it 9 months ago, right? What do we do now? Where should we go, right? What are we doing, right? Well, there's a couple things we're doing. Because in the bear market, we're going to continue to build, right? What we're building now. What we're going to launch very, very soon is our prediction engine that I'm telling you is wild already. I'm in test mode right now, and the predictions that I'm seeing are it's getting hairy.
Yeah.
But there's also still going to be a very, very serious AI crusade event that's going to happen that I'm personally going to launch, that I want everyone to be involved with. And I hope you all do. I hope you find Jesus in your life. I hope you find God in your life. I hope you find peace in a sovereign world in your life. And
I hope you all find sustenance first, because we're still in the we still haven't had our altcoin season, right? So,
let's
how
go.
Much time you got, by the way, Vin? How much time you got? Because there's a few more bits we want to run through. You got time today?
Yeah,
we're peaking now. We got 60 live viewers on X, so we might as well keep going. So that's the bear market segment over you guys. So earlier we've covered the breakdown of the the UK, some of Europe. We've discussed the East Asia situation with China. We've discussed Ukraine. Let's quickly finish because we're talking about charts. I want to quickly finish with ETH and then PulseChain. Let's have a quick look at those before we move on to the news. So, what do you see here with the ETH at the moment? We're having a bit of a pullback, right? Do you think the market's waiting for that Fed rate decision on September 17th, or do you think we're going to see something before that?
Well, I mean, look, everyone is really in the camp that we're getting a turn, right? So the sideways move might be building it in. So if we only continue, it seems like we're going to fall off a cliff once it happens. We're going to sell the news, and we're going to.
I don't think so, because traders would have run it up at this point already, right? They would have been running up somewhere up to 6,000, and then they would have sold the news. So I don't think that's happening.
We got to see how the market reacts in the next couple of weeks leading into it.
Yeah.
Right.
If the XRP moving up today, 2%.
If we sell off leading into the 17th, right? Then we have it. Yeah, we're gonna take off. If we go up into it, then we're gonna sell the news, right? And
it's interesting because Bitcoin obviously is in this. Obviously, it'll kind of focus on Bitcoin right now. I mean, Bitcoin's in this range still, right? You see it here, but I don't think we want to. If we lose this 107,000 mark, we're straight back down to the 100K mark, right? So
makes sense.
Who knows? We might see a short run, but I mean, let's see what's going on.
Why wouldn't we hit that down wick in the 75,000? Just right there. So on that trend line. So why wouldn't we hit that trend line again? Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're going that low. I think once you go below, I would say for me, once you go below 96, 92. That means bull market's over for me. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, but because you're saying that, I'm saying that's a capitulating bottom. It's in the trend line.
Yeah.
Right? So now you got to change your top line cone trend line, change that top one, recorrect the top from those two, make the tops actually the top wick, make the trend line.
This red one is actually not. This is actually not. This is not like you think. I'm not doing an ascending triangle, which would look like this. That red line actually is a historical.
This one
goes back months. Actually, this one kind of follows the middle run here. So you want to stay above that. So that's a different trend line. Going to another time, but yeah, we're getting right to the acute peak of this one, right? So it needs to make a decision pretty soon.
And what we're going to wind up probably seeing, and if we see it, but a breakout of this ascending triangle. And that's the top, and that becomes that blow off top, right? And then we just see it. You're calling
for about 180 though, right? Yeah, I've got 180 here on my chart. Yeah. 180 top is what you're kind of feeling.
Yeah, right? 160 to 180. Unfortunately, as much as I want to say, hey, listen, the numbers last time, the percentage of the breakout, it just do the same numbers. We got 440,000. I don't know if it's going to happen. Yeah. We have to see. I mean, I just don't know. At this point,
to be honest, I don't think that. I think for our audience who's in ETH, who's in PulseChain, if we hit 160, 180, I mean, literally, we could just go sideways. Like Bitcoin could just go up in the next. Let's say interest rates are lowered, right? Let's say Bitcoin goes up to even 114,000, 116,000, 117,000, right? Just up within this range. Ethereum's going to run. PulseChain can then run. So I don't really think, obviously it's good. We want Bitcoin going up, but we want Bitcoin going up at a slower rate than Ethereum.
Yeah,
right?
but
So
we want Bitcoin going up while it dominates.
But one thing we don't want to see is Bitcoin get rejected again for a third time here. We do not want to see that, right? That's when we're in danger zone, right?
Especially if Bitcoin dominance goes up when that happens.
Yes.
And we got a correction coming. It's not going to be good.
Yeah. So let's quickly move on to a lot of our audience here will want to see. Obviously, we've got the blood moon coming up.
Watch for that. Absolutely.
That's happening right now in the U. Well, we have it
right
at 7 o'clock. I went outside. Everything was red, man. It was weird. I couldn't see the moon from my position, but a really weird red hue. And obviously, there's some indicators I want to show you quickly. Ted Pillows, who's a big ETH guy. Look at this. He's showing you every time. This is a blood moon here, right? Every time there's been a blood moon, look at that correction. I don't want to scare anyone, but look at that. Wow. Hopefully, we got more likely to break that trend now, though, right?
I would say no. I would say that that cycle, the moon cycles, are more important than anything we say.
Yeah, and obviously
much more powerful, I should say.
Obviously, a lot of people in power, they are part of the occult, and they do pay attention to this stuff more than the average person does. So sometimes they will follow this stuff.
What I see later on sent to you.
Yeah. So obviously, the ancient Chinese
moon.
Sorry,
I get a big moon where I am. I get a big. It really shows.
Right. But obviously, yes. So spiritually, the red moon has long been seen as a sign of urgency and transformation, often tied to endings and new beginnings. The blood moon is believed to intensify emotions and karmic lessons, making it a powerful time for inner change and renewal. And obviously, inner change. These charts are just human psychology represented, onto price assets, right? It's all human psychology. So it's an interesting time. Let's see what happens with that one. Let's quickly have a look at the PLS situation, because a lot of our guys are big PulseChain fans, including us. So here we are, Pulse against DAI. Looks like, yes, we had that first resistant line that we broke out of, trying to form a dragon pattern here. So we got the, what is it, is it the tail of the dragon here, the two legs, and then we're trying to form a head, right? So bullish pattern.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're gonna catch the bottom trend line there again.
Yes,
looks like we're gonna go down to a bottom. Like, just take that bottom and draw a trend line from the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe we could form a higher low here. I don't think. Well, I don't.
Yeah, we'll have another higher low,
I don't see this.
No, higher low, higher low from last time.
I see something like this where I've joined this white line, and maybe this,
and then right there, and then somewhere right in there, and then we take off. The question is, are we going to see the OA move? What are we going to see? How is this going to play out with the Ethereum bag? How are we going to see?
You see him, Richard, post more and more of this shit, right? So we saw him post the thing the other day where he had the Yeti on the bear's back, or the bear on the, I can't remember which one it was. And he was signaling that we're going here. Now we're seeing stuff like this. Buy now, and he's done it really cheap as well to kind of troll you, right? He's not even made a good meme. He's clearly, and I kind of like that. Why would your ads be like this? And I think what he's doing is, now we just saw Crypto Coffee, and we saw Captain RG3 today in the van delivering the things. And I think, so we've multi-billion-dollar potential asset here, and we got two guys driving around in a van delivering stuff. I think it's all show and games. I think it is. What did we say a couple weeks ago? Ultimate trolling.
It's the total troll. What did we say a couple weeks ago? He's going to do something.
We got RJ3 delivering them by hand. Like, come on, guys. What, 400,000 units?
He's sending out etcher sketches to everybody. He's sending out etcher sketches to everybody.
I know. Yeah.
That's the funniest thing ever.
And he posted today, he's like showing how much they are in, he's like, look.
Yes, I saw that the other day.
Staples. And dude, I just can't help it. Look, obviously this has cost money. It's cost a lot of money, right? So let's say he bought them from China in bulk at maybe $2 a piece. The distribution, obviously, he's getting done cheaply. Instead of paying a distributor, he's got some hexagons going out there with vans, if you believe that. But yes.
And I think this is the first round. It's not even like that's it.
Perfect excuse for lots of wallets to come in and go, look at all these people that have bought. So I think this is, if anything, this is a sign that we're ready to go. So looking at that chart we just looked at, the PLS, what is the time frame here? Well, the time frame is pretty much, I would say, the next month, next 4 weeks. These things start to arrive at houses in the next few days. Literally, I think some arrived in the houses in the last few days, right? So I think you might start seeing some candles, maybe a quick $10 million candle, and then another $10 million candle. in the next month is what I think. If you're
we
going to
might
go,
have another November. We might have another November, like last year.
Oh yes. Last year was very good, wasn't it?
Last November was spectacular.
Oh yeah, we had a good run there. I remember Hex went from 0.7.
The issue is, though, here's the
It was
thing,
great
right?
time.
We got to do more than 10x from here.
Yeah, for sure.
Time's running out.
My first target.
Time's running out.
My first target is going to be 423% move. Second target is going to be 650% move. And after that, we're in obviously uncharted territory, right? And then you're looking at the 1618, which is a nice. Everyone loves the moon math on Pulse, right? And then you look at there's your 10x, as you say, you're at 1.618 there. There you are.
Yeah, but is that it?
No, I don't. I think there's more than that. But I'm saying, look, would you be, if you loaded up appropriately, would you be sad on a 10x right now? Obviously, I think PulseChain is going to outperform that. I think this is going to be a real hard hitter. How you doing, DJ Pollywood? I met DJ Pollywood in Florida at the first PulseBitcoin meetup, and we hung out in his van, his PulseChain van. Awesome thing, man. And he gets out there. He drives around the country to meet these meetups. What else we got to cover here? So, so Russia claims the world's first mRNA vaccine. Now, this is an interesting one, right? We touched on the point earlier when we were talking about the war. Why has Russia done this, do you think, Vin? They're rolling this out. I'm not sure if you saw it. So Russia is just rolling out this mRNA vaccine, saying everyone is allowed to take it. Is it a PR move, or do you think that Putin believes in mRNA technology? Because he's trying to increase his population, right? He's got a problem with not having enough population. So why would he roll out mRNA technology when we know that lowers fertility rates?
And this is so troubling. Operation Stargate, the first day of Trump's being in office.
Are you okay to roll with this for 2 minutes?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Be back in a second.
We've got this mRNA technology now that is like with what recently happened in the last few years. What else was in it, right? And what is mRNA actually? Okay. Is it something that can be used for good is the question. Was it used for bad is the question. I'm not saying I have my opinion. Most of you already probably know it. We are in a situation where now they're trying to use mRNA technology for good to cure cancer and to change your DNA. Now, in the next couple of years, as we come into 2030, it's going to be used, nanobots / mRNA are going to be used and put into your bloodstream, and they're literally going to be able to restructure mutations within your own cell at a cellular level. They're going to be able to, it's starting, Ray Kurzweil says in 2030, we start to live forever. Okay. And I think that this is the beginning of it. And the mRNA technology, because it's malleable, because it's adaptable and is programmable, is the issue is now, what do you do with it, right? Do you put spike proteins and poisons and other stuff in it still, and these aluminums and these other things that are just doing everything that they've done before? Okay, that's an obvious answer, right? When influenza went away all of a sudden, well, we can talk about that. That's another crazy situation. We already know it. So what you're seeing now is this narrative of people being scared because they remember what the mRNA was a few years ago, what kind of still is. And now the question is it being used for good? Or is it something that's going to be used for bad? And the issue is, okay, let's say someone's got leukemia, and let's say they created an mRNA leukemia cancer drug that's using the mRNA technology that's going to somehow adjust and adapt your DNA in your blood to cure that leukemia. You're going to take it? Oh, yeah, you probably are, right? Because you figured out, okay, there's no like aluminum in it. There's no spike proteins in it. There's none of this bad stuff that wasn't even on the insert in the boxes. There's none of that. It's not the same anymore, right? See, that's what Trump was told in the beginning. And he went on and he went on. And now you're seeing him say, well, we're not going to do mRNA anymore. This is not going to happen. Yeah, there's no money in a cure. You're absolutely right. And that's why look up the $1 trillion conspiracy from Jim Marrs. It's keep us sick for a long, long time. It's the Rockefeller system, right? It's all petroleum based. I mean, I could talk about this forever. At the end of the day, now, finally, to some degree, there's going to be some money in a cure. Why? Because they've already embedded metabolic syndrome in 80% of the population of the world. Well, maybe not the world, at least America, right? America's fat.
Certainly the West. Certainly the West. Yeah, certainly the West.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, they've already embedded because now AI's here. Now you're not stopping AI. It's going. Now they got no choice, right? Now it's on its roll. And we're going to have AGI, right? Artificial general intelligence coming. It's coming next year. Now what do we have? We have a situation where we got this mRNA tech. And what happened day one of his presidency with Ellison and everyone else, where they said, okay, this Operation Stargate, we're going to use mRNA to cure cancer and other defect diseases and other things. So this is the beginning stages of the transformation and the walk into transhumanism.
Yeah.
Because
Ray
Kurzweil said, I'm telling you, 2030, he did on TED Talk, 2030 is coming, where you're going to have the ability to take nanobot technology, nanobot mRNA technology, and it's going to literally injectables into your bloodstream, and it's going to go around to wherever your defect is in your body, whatever that mutation is, right? There's all kinds of awful diseases and problems that people have. Oh my God, I saw one today. It's very sad. And this is, then you get into, okay, Elon and his chips and to play into that. And, now we're talking about what? We're talking about the B system. Now we're talking about, if you're not in it, you're out, right? If you're not in it, you're out. Let me tell you something. In the name of God, I'm out.
I'll tell you what, man, we're running a short time, but I've got we've got another 10 minutes. I don't want to do a quick plug here because just coming up for any PLSB people in the chat, I know a lot of you aren't PLSB guys, but we have got our voice chat coming up at 10 p.m., which will start at the top of the hour. We're currently 35 minutes past the hour. We'll be in the Telegram room. That's t.me/PulseBitcoin. We're going to have a meeting in there. So if anyone wants to jump in and see what's going on there, you're welcome to. I wanted to quickly cover another story here. This is a big one. Binance dollars, well, USDT replaces Venezuela's currency as their inflation hits 229%. So what we're seeing is the population of Venezuela can no longer rely on their currency, and they're actually purchasing peer-to-peer with USDT. I think we'll see more of this in the future.
Yeah, we will. We will. I mean, who knows what at the end of the day, I think, from a bank-to-bank perspective, it's XRP. I think they're making a mistake in using Binance because it's an exchange and it's not a real medium. It's not really meant to be that. It's just meant to be a representative coin of the exchange. It's not meant to be a currency for a country. So I think that it makes sense that Venezuela would do that because Venezuela is just completely. Remember, listen, Venezuela was the richest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Well, they got a lot of gold. They got a lot of oil. Yeah.
Right, huge, right? And then Chavez, then Maduro, and it's over. And there's your socialism for you. Okay?
Yep. So, socialism doesn't work, guys. Never has, never will.
No. And the only people that think it does are completely brainwashed, miseducated, uneducated, misled, misinformed, misdirected, with very purposeful intent. Right? And they believe it because they got nothing else to do. They're living in the parents' basement. So take care of me. Listen. Go make it yourself, man. Go figure something out. It's not going to happen.
Quick plug as well. We got just to let everyone know, Vox has they've just launched their single-sided staking for PulseX. So if you want to If you missed the old single-sided staking, you want to single-sided stake your PulseX. They're currently offering 38.5%. Maybe throw in a little bit there while you're waiting for PulseX to pump. You've got no impermanent loss, and you can also single stake your incentive token as well there. So check that out. Shout out to Vox.finance. Just trying to make sure we almost finished, guys. Anything else you want to bring up?
Hey, listen, you're doing great on our viewership right now. Would you please go and follow me on X at Pulse Nation 369?
Drop in the comments there for people to see, and I'll put up on screen.
Gotta get my viewership back up. We're going to be releasing our prediction engine soon. We're going to be releasing the AI Crusade soon. I hope you join us on the AI Crusade. There's only going to be 144,000 tokens available. It's going to be a very, very serious crusade that's going to help people become aware of the AI problems, and it's going to hopefully open people's mind, hopefully bring Jesus to light, and it's gonna I think do a lot of good, and ultimately it will be a
yeah, 100%. So yeah, if you are wanting to hang out and talk some PulseChain, we will be jumping into this Pulse Bitcoin meetup. We'll be talking about since our community takeover, the 27x we've done on ETH, consolidating really nicely after that. So we're going to talk about some of the new website that Vin's helping me build. We're excited about that, and we're talking about possibly creating some way of of yield farming on ETH, because the PulseChain guys are enjoying that. So we're all about the yield farming now. We also support emit.farm. Basically, we want people to be able to farm with their tokens. It's a really important part of DeFi. And PulseChain is, if it really wants to not just pump with RH money and your sacrifice money through ETH, if you really want staying power, Vin was talking about earlier that the idea of the market pulling back so much, right? ETH going down to $500, it might hit 15,000. So how are you going to survive?
Yeah, there's a very strong possibility that in this altcoin season, Ethereum goes into the teens. There's a very, very strong possibility that happens. I think the low number is 8,000. So, we get up into there, that's the low number. That just is a small percentage off the top. I think because we're going to get probably we might get the biggest altcoin season we've seen so far.
I think so. Yeah, I think so, man. Just
because
that bubble's the total market cap right now, right?
That bubble pops, bro. Just be ready.
This is just to finish up. Here's the total market cap, and look, we're already kind of into new highs here. So this thing's got plenty of room to move.
Right.
Plenty of room to move.
That's that trend line. That's where we're looking at, something like that around there. That's that all kind of higher.
Oh yeah, if we break it, yeah. If we break it, sure.
Top of the trend line. Yeah. So, we get there. We got Ethereum in teens, right? Bitcoin, we got to see where it goes.
18K, I'd say at that point.
Maybe that's 250,000 Bitcoin on a wick. We're not sure yet. We don't really know. Bitcoin, that might be where Bitcoin's already topped at 180 and then this happens.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that's very, very possible because you're getting a massive industrialization adoption and institutional and sovereign adoption of Ethereum, right? Mike Lee, right? So Tom Lee. So you're getting that happening, and we might see this massive explosion in Ethereum because of that institutional adoption of Ethereum now. Yeah. The issue is they're going to hold, they're going to stake, they're not going anywhere. What happens when everyone starts to adopt? Let me tell you something, man. When everyone comes in like this, you can't do it anymore. You've now blown the bubble. You popped the bubble. And we're going to see with the bankruptcies and AI taking jobs and everything else, the dollar's going to go up. Everything, there's going to be some bad. Remember, the American election cycle is coming in. So the left is going to try to destroy the right, and they're going to try to destroy the economy so everyone votes back again left. Mm-hmm. So remember that as well. That's part of the input.
And we got the 250-year anniversary of the USA coming up next year, right? And I saw something really cool, actually.
And that's the thing, too, is there's going to be great celebration at the top. There's going to be great celebration before it gets really bad. We've got the 250-year anniversary, Trump's 80th birthday, the FIFA coming. We got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that, we're just going to all of a sudden crash. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We could see a top and then, kind of sit
double
around
top.
sideways for a
They'll
while.
try and
like
trick
this.
some people. Yeah.
Yeah. So, next thing you know, time's going to fly. Next thing you know, uh-oh.
But we are still calling confidently that we still do believe that we've got probably a 6-month window at least at the moment of a bull run, is what we're thinking.
Yeah,
like.
I mean, you got to see what,
Yeah, you got to see as it goes, week by week.
What
things
asset
happen.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I do think that we're going to see interest rates come down. We're going to see the market. And then we haven't even mentioned housing, right? When interest rates come down, you're going to see massive influx of housing. We're already oversupply. You're going to get this massive oversupply of housing in America. And you're going to see prices come down. We're going to probably see a housing depression. So that happens. Everything else happens. It's very, very. And listen, again, you can make a lot of money going on the short side. And it happens a lot faster than it does on going up. So, it's all good. It's going to be positive no matter what. And we're going to do the best we can do to help
you sound like Trump there. It's going to be positive. It's going to be great.
Yeah, be positive. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. We're going to win bigly. It's all good.
But I love the way he invents the word bigly. It's great, isn't it? It's going to be so great. We're going to win so big.
Listen, we're
going
going to
get tired of winning. Is that what you said? You're going to get tired of it. You're going to win so hard.
We're going to win harder than we ever before. You're going to get so tired of winning. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wonderful.
And then you've got when's the midterm elections?
In November.
Oh, is that what next year?
Next year.
Okay.
So
there we are.
There's going to be this massive move to mess up the economy. So they're going to blame it on Trump. They're going to blame it on tariffs. They're going to do all sorts of stuff so they can vote the other way. They're going to try to go red. They're going to steal it again. They're going to do everything that they're going to do. So this is a big, big moment here. And you got to set your path. DC yourself out. Take your profits. Pay off your house. Right? Get out of your debt.
Yeah, 100%. Right? Yeah, 100%. I would definitely recommend everyone do that. Use your gains in this altcoin season. Don't go and blow it. Pay off your debt. Get debt free. Relocate if you have to. If you're in a dangerous country like myself, I'll probably end up relocating and just basically sit tight. Go back when you see Warren Buffett and people like that. Go back into cash. Maybe think about going back into cash because that property you've been looking at that you can't afford. Who knows? You might be able to suddenly afford it.
Wait till the end of 26, 27 to buy it.
Yeah, buy it then. But look, we got a song you wanted to play. You wrote. What this song is?
So this is Soar on Wings. Okay, this is one of my songs. I've created a Christian rock album that is second to none. It's called The Unveiling King. Okay, Unveiling King is the headline song on it. Today we're going to play Soar on Wings because this song is just the right song to go out on this on. Please listen to it. Please go on to Suno, get a quick free account, listen to what it is. I'm going to be going on I'm going to be distributing it on Spotify. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be everywhere on all song podcasts. When I tell you I woke up singing the chorus to these songs and I started just typing and started making them, I'm telling you right now, God spoke to me when I started these. These are all inspired by biblical verses. And I just started to basically lay out the lyrics in my head when I was basically sleeping and waking up. So I've been basically praying to it. This is the most inspirational music. I'm a drummer. I'm a singer. I play the harmonica. I grew up listening to Zeppelin and the Grateful Dead. And I Pink Floyd, you name it. I'm a Linkin Park fan. I can sing anything. Right?
I love Linkin Park. Yeah.
No, I love Linkin Park. I cried the day Chet Chet died because I know they killed him. And
he was
I was in Vietnam in my bar. I cried. Okay. I know what's going on in the world. The devil is running strong. We will find Jesus in your heart, find the love. See here, Knights of the Sacred Order, the Knights of the Sacred Code. The Knights of this order, the Knights of the Sacred Code. We're coming to you strong. Listen to this song, Soar on Wings, my friend. Make it a great Sunday. Soar on Wings. Let's do it. Listen to the music. Listen to all 7 songs for me. I promise you, you will not stop listening. Find Jesus in your heart. Find Jesus in your mind. Find Jesus in your soul. Find God, the all creator of everything. do good, save the people around you, help the people around you. Make sure they know that you're moral, that you're just, that you're virtuous in everything that you do. And God will be there to protect you. Jesus will bring his angels upon you. And Sammy, you are always going to be protected. I will always have the angels with you, and I pray for you every single day.
Thank you, brother. I say,
I love you, man.
We've danced around some free speech issues myself, but so hopefully people got some value in that. If you have got any, if you have got any, we've got 76 live viewers here on X. So if anyone has got any topics they want us to cover next week, drop it in the comments of this video.
Know. Please follow me on X. Follow Sammy on X. Please follow us on X.
Give us a retweet, because not many of you are retweeting. And if you clearly enjoy this content, there's a lot of you here. So please help us out. Give a like, give a retweet. We got to beg, because we want to grow. But on that note, anyone wants to meet us in the Telegram room of Pulse Bitcoin, we'll be in there in 10 minutes and we'll play out the song. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
Good to see you, man.
You are strong. Hope is rising. I'm holding on. Your promise lifts me, sets me free. Your spirit's power alive in me. I'll soar on wings. I'll rise. I'll fly with you. My heart will touch the sky. I'll run, not weary, walk, not faint. My hope is you. My strength's your name. Through the waiting, you renew every heartbeat I made new. Your love sustains me, carries me high above the storm. I'll testify. I'll soar on wings. I'll rise. I'll fly with you. My heart will touch the sky. I'll run, not weary, walk, not faint. My hope is you. My strength's your name. You lift me up. You make me strong. Your endless love will lead me on. No fear, no doubt. I'm held by grace. I'll soar forever in your embrace. I'll soar on wings. I'll rise. I'll fly with you. My heart will touch the sky. I'll run, not weary, walk, not faint. My hope is you. My strength's your name. I'll soar on eagle's wings. My hope is you. My everything. I'll soar.